How dare you do this to me? You lied to everyone.
Please, let me explain. Explain the betrayal.
It wasn't like that.
What would you do if you came face to face with the person who destroyed your entire world? Most of us would want revenge. Justice. To see them suffer the way they made us suffer. But one woman did something that defies everything we think we know about human nature. When Priya Sharma stood before the man who killed her husband in that Mumbai courtroom, she didn't scream. She didn't curse. She smiled, and what happened next didn't just change his life. It changed everything we thought we knew about forgiveness, redemption, and the true meaning of strength. This is her story, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never look at justice the same way again. But before I start, please subscribe, like, and comment. This keeps me encouraged, and also let me know which country you're watching from. Once upon a time, in the bustling streets of Mumbai, there lived a woman named Priya Sharma. She was 32 years old, a school teacher with warm brown eyes that crinkled at the corners when she laughed. And she laughed often, especially with her husband Arjun. Arjun was everything Priya had ever dreamed of. He worked as an engineer, but his real passion was helping others. Every weekend he volunteered at a local community center, teaching underprivileged children math and science. He had this way of making everyone around him feel seen, valued, loved. They'd been married for 7 years. No children yet, but they were trying. They had plans. A small house they were saving for in the suburbs. Dreams of traveling to Kerala for their 10th anniversary. Simple dreams, beautiful dreams. Priya would later remember those days as golden. The way Arjun would leave little notes in her lunchbox. The way he'd dance with her in their tiny kitchen while dinner burned on the stove. The way he'd hold her hand during their evening walks along Marine Drive, watching the sun melt into the Arabian Sea. She thought this happiness would last forever. She had no idea that in just 3 weeks, her entire world would shatter into 1,000,000 pieces. It happened on a Tuesday evening. Arjun was driving home from work, taking his usual route through the congested streets of Andheri. The traffic was terrible, as always. Horns blaring, auto rickshaws weaving through lanes, the organized chaos that is Mumbai. At a red light, Arjun's car was hit from behind. Not hard, just a tap. A minor fender bender. The kind of thing that happens every day in a city of 20 million people. Arjun got out to check the damage. The other driver, a 24-year-old man named Vikram Desai, also stepped out. Witnesses later said the conversation started normally. Just 2 men discussing insurance, exchanging information. But then something shifted. Vikram had been drinking. Not heavily, but enough to cloud his judgment. Enough to make him paranoid. When Arjun asked to see his license, Vikram thought he was being threatened. Thought Arjun was going to call the police and ruin his life. An argument erupted. Voices raised. Vikram's hand went to his pocket. He pulled out a knife, something he later said he carried for protection in the city. What happened next took less than 15 seconds. A scuffle, a flash of metal, a single terrible mistake. Arjun collapsed on the street, blood pooling beneath him on the hot asphalt. By the time the ambulance arrived, he was gone. Just like that. Over a minor car accident and a moment of alcohol-fueled panic. Priya's husband, her best friend, her entire future, was erased from existence. The weeks that followed were a blur of darkness for Priya. She stopped eating, stopped sleeping. Her students at school would find her staring blankly at the wall, tears streaming silently down her face. Her family rallied around her. Her mother moved in, trying desperately to keep Priya from drowning in her grief.
We will get through this together.
Friends visited, bringing food she couldn't taste, offering words of comfort she couldn't hear. But the anger? The anger was loud. It consumed her. At night, she would imagine Vikram Desai's face. She would fantasize about him suffering, about him feeling even a fraction of the pain she felt. She wanted him to rot in prison. She wanted him destroyed. The trial date was set for 3 months later. Priya marked it on her calendar and counted down the days. She prepared a victim impact statement, pages and pages of her rage and heartbreak. She was going to make sure everyone in that courtroom understood what he'd taken from her. But then, something unexpected happened. 2 weeks before the trial, Priya received a letter. It came to her home, forwarded through the prosecutor's office. The return address? Mumbai Central Prison. It was from Vikram Desai. Priya's hands shook as she opened the envelope. Part of her wanted to burn it without reading, but curiosity, or maybe something deeper, made her unfold the pages. The letter was 5 pages long, handwritten in neat, careful script. Vikram didn't make excuses. He didn't minimize what he'd done. Instead, he wrote about his life, his mistakes, the moment everything went wrong. He described the exact moment he realized what he'd done. How Arjun had looked at him, not with hatred, but with surprise and sadness. How those final seconds played on an endless loop in his mind every single night. He wrote about his own family, a mother who was diabetic, who'd had a heart attack when she learned what her son had done. A younger sister whose engagement had been broken off because of the shame. He wasn't asking for sympathy. He was simply being honest. And then, at the end of the letter, he wrote something that broke through Priya's armor. I know I cannot undo what I have done. I know sorry is a word too small for this magnitude of pain. But I need you to know that I have replayed that evening 1,000 times. And I would give anything, including my own life, to take back those 15 seconds. Your husband didn't deserve what happened, and neither did you. I am drowning in the same ocean of grief, knowing I created it. I am truly, deeply sorry. Priya read the letter 17 times that night. She cried until she had no tears left, and somewhere in that darkness, something shifted. The anger didn't disappear, but it made room for something else. A question. What would Arjun want? The day of the trial arrived. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, curious onlookers, both families sitting on opposite sides like it was a wedding gone wrong. Vikram Desai was brought in, wearing prison clothes, his head bowed. He looked thinner than his photos, haunted. When his eyes accidentally met Priya's across the room, he flinched and looked away. The prosecutor presented the case methodically. The evidence was overwhelming. Vikram's lawyer barely put up a defense. It was clear he was going to prison for a long time. Then came the moment for victim impact statements. The judge called Priya to the stand. She walked slowly to the front of the courtroom, feeling every eye on her. She reached into her purse for her prepared statement. Those pages of anger and grief. Her fingers touched the paper, but she didn't pull it out. Instead, she looked directly at Vikram Desai, and she spoke from her heart. Your Honor, 3 months ago, this man took away the most precious person in my world. He killed my husband, my best friend, my future. I have spent every day since then consumed by anger and hatred. The courtroom was silent. Vikram's shoulders shook. He was crying. Priya continued, her voice stronger now. But my husband, Arjun, was a man who believed in second chances. He spent his weekends teaching children that everyone deserves an opportunity to grow, to change, to become better. And I asked myself, what would Arjun want me to do? She paused, took a deep breath, and then said the words that would make headlines across India. I forgive you, Vikram Desai. The courtroom erupted. People gasped. The judge banged his gavel for order. Priya wasn't finished. I'm not saying what you did was okay. It will never be okay. But I see that you're suffering too. I see that you understand the weight of what you've done. And I believe that spending the rest of your life drowning in guilt helps no one. Not me. Not your family. Not even Arjun's memory. And then, as tears streamed down her face, Priya Sharma did the unthinkable. She smiled. Not a happy smile, but a smile of release, of choosing peace over poison. Vikram Desai was sentenced to 12 years in prison. But what Priya did next is what makes this story truly extraordinary. She started visiting him. Once a month, she would make the journey to the prison. At first, people thought she was crazy. Her own family questioned her sanity. But Priya had a plan. She told Vikram, "You can't give me back what you took, but you can give back to others." Together, through letters and visits, they started a program. Vikram began teaching math and science to other inmates, using the same curriculum Arjun had developed for underprivileged children. When he was released after serving 10 years, Priya helped him find a job. She introduced him to the community center where Arjun had volunteered. Today, Vikram Desai runs that center. He teaches hundreds of children every year, giving them the opportunities he almost threw away. He named the center Arjun's Light. Every child who walks through those doors learns not just math and science, but the story of a man whose belief in second chances lived on even after his death. Priya remarried 4 years after Arjun's death. She has 2 children now. She named her son Arjun, after the man whose love taught her that forgiveness isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. If this story stayed with you, support it with a like, share, subscribe, and comment.